first found out I had mesothelioma in 2006. It was September 8, 2006. It's a silent creeping disease. It's like a film of glad wrap creeping across your lung. It's quite insidious. Unless you have a CT done or a PET scan, which is even larger, you really don't know what's going on inside your body, and that's really quite scary. I remember so well that drive home in the car. My husband was there and I can see us both in the car, my hand on his knee, trying to comprehend what had happened. Silence, absolute silence in the car almost. It was an amazing moment of sheer fright and scared. You've got this terminal disease, you're going to die. You've got, 6 to 9 months to live. It was a lot to take in. There's so many people that have got this fibre in them or will get this fibre in them. It's a preventable cancer, the only cancer we know that's preventable. It's a ticking time bomb. We have to put money towards the eradication of asbestos in our society. It's not an overnight solution, but let's put some money also into education. Because so many people out there don't even know what it looks like. So they could have it in their home and not realise. It's the only man-made cancer we have. We know the cause, and we know it's asbestos. We know that what the prognosis is for it. Our average person lives about 150 days. And most people, unfortunately, do curl up and believe that prognosis, and they often pass away within that time. I used to run a support group, and through that I met some wonderful people. And there was at least 12 people that passed away last year. Mesothelioma was always an old man's disease. Now it's become a different wave of people contacting it, and it seems, from my knowledge, to be mostly women. Women that were around as little girls when their dad came home with the overalls on, with asbestos on them, with the dust. I mean, there's men that have passed away also that I know with mesothelioma. There was one man that was last year. He was an astute businessman. He was 58 when he passed away, and he puts it down to walking past an area where there was lagging every day on his way to work, and he was around the dust that was exposed or became exposed from the lagging in the pipes. I hope that maybe this disease will, with all the research they're doing, if they could make it into a chronic disease, would be wonderful. A cure would be superb. Everybody hopes for a cure, but if I have to live with it, because it has done damage and marginalised my lung, I can't walk upstairs easily, I get out of breath very easily. At least I can hope to live. I mean, 6 years now, I don't want to give up. I want to go on living.
My name's Jenny Wisemantle. Unfortunately, my husband passed away just over 3 years ago. This all started 6 months prior to the surgical biopsy. He first noticed that he was getting a pain in his ribs, which felt like if he was lying down his side, it felt like somebody was digging a knuckle in his ribs, that sort of pain. From the disease itself, the breathing was always a problem. And then on top of that, when you're going through chemo, it's the fatigue and lack of appetite and all those sort of symptoms. The way Graham reacted, he was in shock. I mean, we were almost hoping that it would be tuberculosis or some tropical disease, or we didn't know a lot about mesothelioma at the beginning, and we might have heard the name, but it just, it was to do with cancer, and you just sort of didn't want to go there. And the other impact, I suppose, on him was that he went from being a really super fit sort of guy to, like running, jogging, cycling, and then suddenly having that part of his life taken away from him. The impact that that had on my life was that I had to sort of just take care of everything for him to sort of make sure that he was able to get through each day, I suppose. You just sort of, there just seemed to be a constant round of appointments, and it was just like, seemed like a constant roller coaster of dealing with whatever issues that he had at the time. He also had a lot of anxiety and even panic attacks, so that was another thing that we had to deal with. The way that I actually coped with that during the time of Graham's illness was just sort of putting your head down and going for it, and you sort of line up everything that has to be done each day, and you just keep going forward because that's all you can do. I'm volunteering here at Adgery because, well, after Graham passed away, I didn't have the desire to go back and just work in my normal area that I had been working in, and I wanted to give back to all the people that had sort of helped us. I would hope that the researchers find a cure for mesothelioma so that nobody has to go through what we went through.